Okay, let's dive straight into this one, shall we? A few years ago, I used to deal with a Chinese guy with knitted fabrics, and he represented a big company over in China, and he was our, if you like, main contact to the person we used to deal with for selling fabrics and goodness knows what. Now this guy used to pop over to the UK on a regular basis, and he was only a young guy. He must have been in his early 30s, and he'd just got married, and she was a lovely lady that he married, and eventually they had a little child, and little boy actually. Now one particular day when this gentleman was over in our country, we used to go for a Chinese meal most nights because he used to like Chinese food, obviously, and he used to have a natter with the chef, and they used to dish him up some authentic Chinese, not the Chinese that we eat, the watered down bloody English version, the proper Chinese stuff. So we used to end up going to these restaurants because he wasn't very partial to British food. But on one occasion we were discussing, maybe because we've just seen a couple of gay guys sitting on a table next to us, and the discussion got over to the story about these gay guys, and we got to the subject of his little boy, by which time he'd had, and he was so anti-gay. You know, you could sense the feeling when he was speaking to him that he was really anti-gay, and it wasn't offensive about it. It was just, you know, maybe he couldn't understand it. And I says, well, what happens if you know, your little boy turns out to be gay? And he says, I disown him. I said, what do you mean you disown him? He says, if he was gay, I'd chuck him out. And I thought to myself, God almighty, how could you possibly do that? You know, your own flesh and blood. How could anybody do such a thing? And I just wonder what your feelings would be if somebody actually said that to you. I mean, I don't know what your feelings are about, you know, gay and lesbian people. But it's a funny old subject, I think. So I was a little bit upset about that, because, you know, it doesn't matter to me that somebody's gay or lesbian or whatever. Which is just as well, really, because at that time I've got 3 children. I've got my youngest daughter, who you've possibly seen on vlogs. She's 28 and just had her daughter, which is lovely. I'm sure you've seen her, the little baby. I've got my middle lad, Adam. He's 30, and he's got 2 lovely children that you must have seen on my vlogs. They're my little helpers. And Ben, my first lad, he's 31, nearly 32. Now when Ben, my oldest lad, was 16, he told me he was gay, which, I've got to be honest with you, was one hell of a shock. One hell of a shock. and I've got no real suspicions about him being gay or anything. It's just the fact that probably about a week or two before he came out, he had left his computer on, and me being a nosy dad had had a look, and there were these fellas in the undress state that he's obviously been viewing. And I says to Sue, my wife, I says, I've just got this feeling that Ben will have something to say to her soon. So, in that respect, we were a little bit suspicious, but we thought it might be just, I don't know what we thought. But anyway, 2 weeks later on, he told us that he was gay. And like I say, it was a bit of a shock. And my mind immediately went back to this Chinese bloke who said that he would disown his lad if anything like that happened. And this is where I felt sorry for the guy. Because I was in the exact same position and I hadn't got to make that choice. Because I love my lad, I love all my kids, and something like that would never, ever, ever break us apart. Nothing like that could do that. So, that's really my little vlogette this afternoon. Is the fact that how different people are and whether anybody could actually do such a thing. I'm not saying it's easy to come to terms with finding out that your kid or kids are gay. It's not, it's very difficult, and I've got to be honest, I can't understand why that's the case. But it don't stop me from loving them. Now as it happens, Ben is in a relationship with a lovely fella, he's a lovely bloke, they live together. And he's like another son to me, I think the world of him. So I class myself as being very, very, very lucky to have such a wonderful son, and he's got a great partner. So that's it basically. Not a lot more I could say, I suppose. Any road up, I'm going to continue my little travels. And if you like my vlogs, don't forget to subscribe by pressing that button there.